first of all, there's like a pretty well-fed consultant class of folks who make a living telling politicians, telling the Democratic establishment that, no, you can just sort of triangulate or white working class your way or whatever the new permutation on it is to victory. So that's part of it. And then part of it is actually at a more genuine, uglier level, I would say, which is that, some Democrats actually don't want to fight for 15, right? It's not even that they reject a messaging that is rooted in what humans need as opposed to economic growth. They actually disagree with the policy prescription, right? Because they aren't actually that progressive and their money comes from the same sources as the Republicans. So that's certainly some of it. But then I think that there's also just a lot of fear among the people who do share, at least to some extent, our more progressive policy prescriptions. I think it's terrifying. We've had a shellacking and people revert to comfort. They revert to type, even though that makes absolutely no sense. If people made sense, I wouldn't have a job, right? A lot of my work is like, here is why people are actually doing the opposite of what seems logical. The interesting thing about the pattern in the research projects that I've done, I would say, at least for the last 3 years, is that the primary impediment that we have in our messaging is not actually that people think our ideas are wrong. I'm not talking about the consultant class. I'm talking about sort of a more general public. Right. It's not that people think that our ideas are wrong. It's that they think our ideas are impossible. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they agree. We should have gun control, huge numbers, but they're like, that's never going to happen. So I might as well get a gun myself since all the crazies will. And they believe that it would be better if we funded schools with a measure of equity and gave students that had been the longest ignored and sidelined more so that they actually had the same opportunity. But since they think that's never going to happen, they need to hoard all their tax dollars so that they can go to private school, right? They do actually prefer our policies. It's not that our main opposition is actually our opposition's ideas. It's cynicism.
I think go ahead. Sure. Finish your thought.
So a lot of the messaging challenge that we see actually is around a knee-jerk progressive tendency to lead with the problem, right? What I like to call, this is the Titanic. Would you like to buy a ticket? Or, boy, have I got a problem for you, right? The climate is being destroyed. Right. Donate to this, right? There's a war on women. Come do that. And the thing is that most people, they don't want more problems. They got 99 problems and they don't want ours.
Right. And so, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up. But I guess then, so the big challenge is, just to sum it up, and then we'll have like 20 seconds. But it sounds like the big challenge is basically how do we present our ideas in a way that says, and we can do this.
Yeah. And not just, and we can do this, but actually what I like to call messaging from inevitability, that this is a matter not of if, but when. And I think that the sort of paragon that exemplifies this is marriage equality. When they stopped focusing in on people are very upset about this and it's an abrogation of rights and our rights and we have a big opposition and basically pivoted to love and relationships, but also we're getting married, people. That's what's happening.
Right.
This is the future.
Right.
You can get on the bus or you can be left explaining to a grandchild why you had a problem.
Right.
We need to make it so that we need to stop telling people we're the losing team because nobody wants to be on the losing team.
No, I love the message of inevitability. I think that's got to work. It's inevitably going to work.